I don't know how this video is gonna really go or turn out, but I gotta give you guys some updates. I don't know if you guys are gonna like or not like the updates on this that I'm about to give with what's happening with Anime Adventures and some more info that we got from the wiki. But pretty much, one of the wiki editors, Pixel, has like put out and said to us that all of the stuff happening on the wiki that we have been like looking forward to and like basing our assumptions off of, he has pretty much said that it was not really confirmed because they're not really, I guess, intertwined with the devs, so they don't really know what's happening. They're kind of just going through and doing stuff. I'll go ahead and put that up for you guys to actually see, so you guys can actually look at that and read that for yourself. But other than that, there's not really too many updates because that kind of destroyed like all of our ideas for what was going to happen, because I was mainly basing it off of, oh, they're adding the units back to the game, or not the game, the wiki. So I was like, okay, maybe we'll get the game back soon. But looking at what I had looked at, I was like, okay, this looks pretty genuine. But Pixel has actually told us, no, that it's just kind of trash, and that pretty much they weren't deleted for some type of reason that he doesn't know. But I don't really know what's going to happen with Anime Adventures. I have seen that Rexon has updated us that some of the devs have changed their name, but he's also said that Gumu, which is an alt account, has actually been online for whatever reason, we don't really know. But if Gumu has been online, and if it was like to do something with Anime Adventures, we might be able to still look forward to Anime Adventures coming back up because of Gumu getting back online. Obviously, do not take that too seriously because that is a very low chance. Because, I mean, Gumu getting online doesn't really mean anything for the game. But Rexon did say that it was an alt account. But I mean, I don't really know what else to look at that for. But pretty much the wiki cannot be used for any more updates. I'm going to have to try and find updates either with, you know, the devs are probably under an NDA, so they can't really say anything about their, I guess, working and times and what's happening. That's most likely why we haven't gotten an update on what's actually going on with Anime Adventures, because of the like agreements and the copyright. There's probably more to it that we actually have not been told because we can't be told. But that's also probably why we were told in the singular announcement that we did get that they will either try and like revamp the game, or if they can't, if or when they do make a new game, they're gonna give like benefits to the people that like spent money. Whatever, it's in a bunch of videos, and it's in the Anime Adventures Discord. But pretty much we can actually look for the wiki to be a good place for us to get our ideas and stuff. We can actually hope with that, because most of the, not really most, but I guess majority of the time on the wiki that we've looked at, we can't really expect too much because they are not really, you know, working in with the devs. But Rexon also mentioned that some of the devs are changing their names and that it might be over because of that. But honestly, if they're changing their names, I think it might be so that they're not asked so much about stuff. Like, oh, what's happening with Animate Adventures? They might have gotten annoyed with how many people are trying to get in contact with them just to ask, because they may actually be under an agreement where they can't even tell anyone anything. And we just gotta wait till the game comes back out. And I've seen a lot of people complaining about how other games have gotten back up like extremely fast, and how Anime Adventures is just taking a ridiculous amount of time, and how the developers are just abandoning the game just because they were like, oh, we've made enough money, we're just gonna go ahead and leave and not really care about the community. But I don't really think that's what's happening. I mainly think that, if anything, the devs are probably going to try and fix the game and make it to where people can start playing again. I think the only issue is that they want to make it so that there isn't another copyright. And so they're taking a lot of time to sit there and go through everything. Because what they might be doing is they might be going through and changing each and every single unit, as I've discussed before, all of their like animations, what they look like, the cosmetics, maybe even the maps, as I've said before. But I don't think the devs have just abandoned the game. Like, obviously, they've made a solid bit of money from it. From what I know, they've probably made, this is just a guess from what other people have like said and looked at, maybe around, you know, this is a big gap, but like 20 to 60 million, because they went off of like other games and stuff like that, because we don't know like an exact amount. But I don't think the devs were really looking for money when they made the game. Obviously, that's like part of it, is getting, you know, an income from it. Like, that just happens. But the devs, I think, were mostly just doing it as, like they said, a passion project, because they're like, oh, you know, a tower defense game with anime characters would be, you know, pretty cool, stuff like that, whatever. I think that was their main thing, is they're trying to do like an actual fun tower defense game with anime characters instead of just like a, you know, a balloons tower defense. And there's so much incorporating that they have to do with like all these animes and a bunch of stuff, because they added stuff like the weekly tournaments, they added the Infinity Castle, they added the global matchmaking, which is one of the big things that, from what I've heard from people talking about it, is actually really difficult. Like, making a game that has the global matchmaking in like whatever is really difficult to make, and it's not something that you can just easily just type in your code and be like, oh, okay, you know, looking for players. You can't, it's not like that. You can't just do that. So a big thing about it is just the time is going to take for them to fix all these things. That's what I think is going to take the longest. I think a lot of people complaining about the time it's taking because they think, oh, delete the My Hero units and it'll all be over. I mean, temporarily that would be a good fix, but let's say Demon Slayer got bought, or not bought, but like partnered with whatever, and made another game, and then they shut it down again. I think the developers of the Animated Adventures are trying to avoid their game getting shut down over and over and over from just these small copyright things where there's only a couple of characters. And so I think they're going to go through and just try and change like everything for now so they can't get copyrighted. And then when they bring it back up, they don't have to worry about it because it's not really going to be copyrightable, I guess. I guess that'd be the right wording. Because they won't have anything that's close enough to be able to actually copyright it. So, I mean, we just gotta wait on it and see what happens mostly. It is what it is, but yeah, all of the actual info and ideas that me and a lot of other YouTubers made up, we were pretty much told that those weren't really valid to be based off of the Anime Adventures wiki. Which, I mean, I'm glad they told us that, because that actually helps us to understand, like, it's not, I don't really know exactly how to word it, but but it's nice that we actually were told, because, I mean, we would have just kept going off of the updates they did, and if they were just doing updates to, you know, I don't, I don't know. I don't know what they were doing the updates for. I don't know what they were changing the stuff for, adding the stuff for. I don't know. That's all them. If Pixel gives us an update on, uh, like why some of the stuff is being deleted and undeleted and stuff like that. But all we know from what he has said is that they don't have any inside information, they don't have any leaks or like any of that. They're not really directly working with the developers. And even if they were, I don't know if they'd be able to actually tell us what's actually going on with Anime Adventures. And he said that we have to wait for the information from the developers directly, like an announcement in the Discord. And I mean, the rest of that I put up in the video earlier. But he said what's happening in his page is just trash. And what's happening in his page is pretty much just he has all of the units and you can sort them by alphabetical order. How much damage they do, SPA, range, DPS, cost, unit type, attack type. And it just sorts them. But I was really hopeful. I was like, oh, it looks like they're just taking out the My Hero units and maybe changing some other units and then bringing the game back up, and we're going to get it soon. It doesn't look like that's even going to be close to the case. But, I mean, I guess it's a theory, is what I guess it would best be classified as. Because, I mean, it's not guaranteed to be wrong. They might just go through and just take out some of the units that are copyrighted, and they might go down that route and just see what works the best for the game, because you never know, they might add them back later on in an update with them just, I guess, changed a lot. But that's about it. I don't want to make these videos too long because then it gets kind of annoying to watch them, but pretty much we cannot go off of the wiki to get a completely 100% accurate, like, I guess, idea of if it's going to be coming back up or not. According to Rexon, the game might be over, and it might be done for. I haven't seen I've seen one other person talk about the name changes, other than Rexon, but, I mean, other than that, that's about it. We can't really use the wiki anymore, and we have to wait for an official announcement. I can check some of the other, I guess, sources that we have, but they're not really going to give us anything, because, I mean, I'm assuming they're under an NDA. But yeah, that's about it, and I will give you guys another update as soon as I get something that's, like, good for us to, I don't know, progress. But that's about it, and I'll be seeing you guys later.